Brentford and Chelsea played a goalless draw. This is Wala looming. Wow. It is still not a bad result, but I can tell you this is actually denting the hopes of Chelsea Football Club of qualifying for the Champions League next season. Okay, because in my last video I mentioned that Chelsea Football Club needs to put some game aside in which they need to just see them as a game that they are going to play draw in. It doesn't really mean that they are going to even play draw in these particular games. The games against Liverpool, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle. And judging by the mentioning of these particular football clubs, you could tell the reason why I'm telling you they should just put those games aside and just think, have that back of their mind that okay, they are playing draw against these particular big teams. Because aside the fact that majority of these 2 to 3 of these particular teams that I mentioned actually vying for the same position, which is in the top 5 of teams that are going to qualify for next year's UEFA Champions League. They are also in form. Then I mentioned that okay, aside this particular 4 that I've mentioned, that was when we still had 8 matches. By now it has reduced to 7. I said the other 4 are must-win matches for them, which means that every game outside this particular 4 that I mentioned earlier, which is Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest, any game and any drop of points for Chelsea Football Club means that their hopes of qualifying for next year Champions League is in doubt. You can tell, nobody can tell me it is not 100% for Liverpool. 100% guaranteed that Liverpool is qualifying. Arsenal, 95%. Then the remainder is between, we can see even say, Nottingham Forest is 60% guaranteed that they are qualifying based on their form. Let's disregard the fact that they lost that particular game they played yesterday, but you can still see that there is still this fighting spirit amongst the team. You understand? Then we can't write off Manchester City. Manchester City will find a way to qualify for this particular next year's Champions League, which leaves Chelsea with the likes of Aston Villa and Newcastle, which I feel one of Newcastle and Aston Villa will take the place of Chelsea. But the time is still very much there. The opportunity is still much there for Chelsea. My name is BFFM Sports. Kindly subscribe to my channel.